Okay, we're live. We're live, guys.
All
Yeah,
right, guys. Good
GMGM,
morning.
everyone. Yeah, good morning, everyone. GMGM. Hope everyone is enjoying the current state of the market. What do you think? What do you think? We've seen BTC bounce yesterday after the news where they had to pause the QT. We saw BTC
Mm-hmm.
bounce and where Bank of America, I think, was urging its customers to invest in BTC, like a very, very bullish news. Suddenly we saw BTC spike from, we were hovering around 86, 87K. We saw a huge spike and it continued till we saw, I think, we've seen 94,000 this morning, but we haven't fully cleared that resistance around 93K. We have not fully cleared it though, but it's looking like we are going to clear. What do you think so far from your end? What do you think before we start looking at the
Well,
news and
the
charts?
market looks it looks green. We're beginning to see some alts make good gains and also considerably good gains. So, just we're just
Mhm.
hopeful that these news that is coming out is not countered by something not so good, right? Because, like I said, I'm looking at this month for us to be green, even if it's just a little bit, so people can have some money for the festive period. So let's just see what happens as the week progresses. Today is Wednesday, and things are looking bright. It could, if you check even large cap coins like Solana, BNB, we
Yeah,
Sui is actually moving very well. If you check Sui for some time now. Yeah. And
yeah,
yeah, so let's see how things progress.
yeah. Sui has actually been moving. Just a minute. Let me try and set. Let me share my screen briefly. Just briefly. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So Sui has actually been moving, and we spoke about Sui. I think on Monday or thereabout, where we talked about coins that tend to bounce fast. GMGM, everyone. For those just joining in, please feel free to share the link, invite anyone you want to, and leave your questions in the comment section. Please, you can actually do that. Yeah. So Sui is one of those projects that it tends to like bounce very, very fast. We've said this severally. We also highlighted it, I think, on Monday, that when you're looking at the market, you want to capitalize on those projects that are usually one of the first to bounce once there's a pump in the market. Very, very important. Either you're trading it as spots or via features. It's quite important to take advantage of that. And based on what we saw yesterday, on Monday, there was something I said. I said that it's difficult on Monday to call the direction of the market. It's quite difficult on Monday to decide which direction is the market going to move. Most times, it's from Tuesday that you can actually decide. In most cases, you need to allow Monday play out. That is from Tuesday, you can begin to decide. And yesterday, while we were looking at the chart, we actually said that it's a bad idea to short. It's really, really not a good idea trying to short the market. Preferably, people should be looking for long. We said it that what we are looking for is actually long. So we're going to go to the chart eventually and we'll look at some trades that we dropped in the Telegram community and how they've played out. But looking at altcoins performance generally today, the last 24 hours, you can see like almost everything is green. We just have like one, two, three, just about three red and maybe GST. But we can see that almost everything in the market is green. We have some more greens while some are just maybe 10, 15%. And I'm expecting us to see even more projects bump. What the catch here is most times it's standard to see like a basic retracement, which is why people need to take profit. See, Ruin has done 10%. I think one of the biggest gainers is Track. Track is actually like one of the biggest gainers within the past 24 hours. Looking at these coins here, not the overall crypto markets though. But if we look at within the last 1 week, from last week till date, we see that there are still some coins that are still green and AR is up about 12%. But most alts are still trying to bounce back from the major crash we saw on Monday. You know, Monday morning, most alts lost their resistance, their supports rather, and crashed to a lower support. So most of them, they've bounced and they are facing that support that they broke, which is now resistance, and they're still trying to break above it. And if we zoom out to monthly, we can see almost every altcoin is still down. Almost all the altcoins are still down if we look at the chart monthly. So what that means is the market is still filled with lots of opportunities. It's just maybe one or two alts that are up. AR, which is an altcoin we've been talking about for a very long time now. And so we have actually been telling our community since late last year, early this year, we've been saying how bullish we are on AR. So if you notice, despite this whole crypto storm we had in the month of November, AR did not dump. It held its position like really, really well. Against, if you chart it against almost every other coin in the market, AR did not dump. It's still holding its position really, really well, which we are not surprised. The tech is solid and they have a value product fit in the market. So let's just look at the news and see briefly what the news is saying before we jump to some projects we're kind of bullish on and some projects that we're buying, and also some trades that we took and some that were actually taken. So just a minute or two. Please feel free to share the link and invite anyone. Invite anyone you want to. Drop your questions. If there are charts you want us to look into or projects you want us to look into or to charts, drop it before we spend too much time. So just briefly, let's glance through top news. So I think we just have two major top news here relating to BTC. Inevitable 50K BTC crash. Yeah, this is also speculation. BTC is price depends on.
It's not live yet. It's not actually. It's just dark.
Oh, okay. Let me remove it and add it back. Is it live now?
No, it's still dark.
Now?
No, it's not.
All right. Okay, just a minute. How about now? Should be live now because I just added it back. Should be live now, is it?
Yes.
For those joining, please feel free, drop questions, invite anyone you want to invite. Let us know projects you want us to look into before we spend too much time. Yeah, so glancing through the news briefly, let's look at the hot stories. So we can see speculation of 50K BTC price. I was never expecting this. And we can see Bitcoin is priced in dippings as BTC trades below 100K. Yeah, I think these are still like outdated news. I feel so. I actually feel so. So the major news here that I would feel has some minor concern is December Fed cut unlikely, but Bitcoin will be fine. Yeah, obviously Bitcoin will be fine because they've actually paused CT. They've paused CT, and we can see that the Bank of America has pledged its allegiance on BTC, like asking your customers or clients to go buy BTC. That's like the biggest publicity you get. There's nothing that screams louder than that. Asking your clients to go buy BTC. Imagine how many clients they have. Imagine how much, like the millions and billions of dollars that the bank is actually holding. Then imagine them actually saying that it only means that in the not so distant future, most of these banks would actually support their clients holding BTC. They'll actually support their clients buying BTC from their mobile app and most likely holding it. So they'll most likely have BTC wallets there where you can, in a matter of seconds, you can actually swap from real money, that's whatever the local currency is, to BTC and back, vice versa. You can actually be able to do that. That is literally what it means. Yes, that's the way I see it, basically. So you don't want to miss out on any of this, because for most of the persons that are very, very active right now, and they are following up with what is happening in the crypto space. It's a huge opportunity that you have to take advantage of before the retailers get on board. Because like it or not, the retailers will get on board. It's only a matter of time. The retailers would come. So you want to make sure that you are very, very, very positioned. Very important. So let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart. We dropped some trades in the Sasonis community yesterday. But before we look at those trades, let's first of all look at the BTC chart. What the BTC chart is actually saying, what we were looking at yesterday, what played out, and some trades we took, and maybe why we took those trades. So this was the last stuff I drew yesterday here. This was literally the last stuff I drew yesterday. And this was me telling you guys that this trade, you don't need to take this trade. If you're looking for a short trade, this is the setup, but you don't need to take the trade. I would not be taking it. And I made it very clear. One, I said this support, this resistance rather, I'm expecting it to be taken out. Secondly, I'm not seeing any rejections here. Last, this zone was a very strong bounce. So I don't think this area would hold, especially because I've not seen any form of rejections there. And no rejections presented itself. Instead, BTC was showing positive momentum that it wants to bounce and break above that zone. There were no rejections there. Now, we got that news towards yesterday evening. We got the news, and immediately we got the news, BTC started running. So while it was running, some persons were trying to catch the whole BTC bomb. I didn't bother to do that because most times I don't like to FOMO. That's just the thing. I don't like to FOMO most times. This was rather the only BTC trade I took yesterday. Immediately it got to this zone and rejected a little and came back to this support I just established on 1 hour. That was what I was just waiting for, and I took my trade with my stop loss below this candle. That was like the only BTC trade I took yesterday. Like, it was the only trade. And I exited. I could have gotten back in, again here and ran it all up to the top. I would have, but I'd slept off because I made sure to exit this trade before sleeping. Yeah, I exited the trade before sleeping, just so that I don't wake up and I'm seeing BTC maybe somewhere around here before it continues up again. But if I was awake, if it was, let's say, afternoon time or evening or morning, I would have still caught this continuation all the way up. I would have caught it. But because of it was late night, there's no way I'll be awake by 1 o'clock or 2 a.m. trying to trade. Okay, there's no way. When I know that in the morning, I should be available doing something like this with you guys. Yeah, so that was the only trade that we took yesterday in BTC. So looking at them, zooming to 4 hours charts. Now, if you notice something, this is the zone we're expecting to break since last week. We attempted to break it, I think, was last week's Sunday. I think so. Over last weekend, yeah. We attempted to break it and it failed. Now we're attempting to break it again. Yesterday, we went above that zone, which 94K. Now you can see the rejection. The 4 hours candle still closed below. So we haven't broken through it completely. There's still like that's rejection. It's very possible that BTC can still come back here to 91 something to gather momentum then before eventually breaking it. Do I think we'll break this zone? Yes. I strongly do believe that we'll break this zone. I feel we will. The buy volume, the narrative, the momentum is really, really strong. So I have my eyes on the chart, looking for an entry. I won't be trying to short this yet. I would not be trying to short this. There are some persons that might just do like to scalp. They want to scalp, do some scalp trade, and they might run down to 15 minutes time frame or 30 minutes. You can run down to 15 or 30 minutes time frame, trying to scalp, short it, long, short, things like that. But that can also be mentally exhausting, and you have to be on sit, tracking it full time. So I won't be trying, even if I want to scalp, I won't be looking to short. No. Instead, I'll be looking for longs around this zone if I want to scalp this BTC. Then to one of the major trades we took yesterday, shared it in the community. The trade is Gigo. This was a trade we shared in the community. Please, I don't know if everyone can hear me. I need to be certain. Everyone can hear me, right?
Yes,
We share this trade. So I'll show you guys. Yeah, I'll show you guys. Yeah, I'll show you guys where we share the trade live in the Sasonis community. The link is there. If you join the Telegram group and scroll up, you'll see where we shared it actually. Now, don't mind this TP that is going all the way up. I spoke about it yesterday on Telegram, sorry, on Twitter, our Twitter spaces, and I said it that the TP, I've adjusted my TP. Our full TP was at 110, by the way. I said it, I've adjusted it all the way to 160, and I'll still adjust it further because of I'm expecting Giggle to do really good. Now, this is where Giggle is facing another resistance. This is where it is facing another resistance. This is actually where it's facing a resistance. You can see it here. That's the zone it's facing resistance. So when we dropped this trade yesterday, we dropped it at entry, and we advise people to get in. Now, a few persons were able to swing this trade twice. What do I mean? When it got to TP1, they took profit. It got back close to the entry. They got back in. A few persons were able to do that because personally I did that and I dropped it in the group. I dropped it there in the group that I exited after I got to TP1 while it was facing this rejection here, and it came down to our entry again. I got back in. Yeah, I got back in, and I kept adding positions, which I also explained that too on the Twitter spaces, why I was adding positions. I'll make a different video, which will be on the Sasonis YouTube, explaining this trade properly. But for the sake of just bringing you guys up to speed, and we communicated that on the Telegram channel, why we added a bit more positions, and we kept saying once it broke above this, we're going to go higher. Now you can see it went above, but it didn't close. It rejected, came back here. Opportunity to add more positions, which personally I did. Eventually it went up, and now it's facing resistance. Now, is this trade still valid? 100%. It's still valid. In fact, I'll show you guys other trades too. It's still very, very valid. Yes, we're in profit. Yes, we've taken some profit. Yes, we're running risk-free in this trade currently. We're running risk-free. Some accounts are closed. Some accounts that I longed this trade, I closed. It took me out at around 106 based on trailing stop loss that I set. It took me out at 106. But for some other accounts, the trade is actually still open. For spot positions, for some spots, I've actually closed. It gets closed at around 20% profit or so for some spots. So that's for the spot positions though. I've actually closed. I just left, took out the capital, just left the profits there. Probably to still keep going high based on my expectation. So the trade is actually a good trade. It's still valid, still playing out as expected. If you want to confirm most of these things I'm saying, just go to our TG. The link is on the screen. Go there, you see the trades yesterday evening where it was posted, and you can be able to scroll up and follow up most of these things. Also, some other trades we dropped. Now let's look at another trade that I dropped, which I also took. That is the CHR trade. So this trade was also shared. This one was shared this morning, actually. This was shared this morning. That's when this trade was dropped this morning. So you can see how this CHR has never moved. It's facing the support that it lost on Monday. Most altcoins are actually facing that support. So many altcoins, even Giggle. Giggle is also facing that support too. So CHR is facing the support it lost on Monday. You can see it here. That Monday morning, most altcoins lost this support. That is where if you look at the market, most of the altcoins, that is where they are facing. So it's one of two things. Either BTC would mess up and not go higher, maybe try to come down to its 8 key. If it does it aggressively, most of these trades will fail because they would all weak down. But if they weak down, we'll find another entry again and proceed, trying to long it. But I'm kind of like optimistic that they are going to break above this. I expect BTC to range at that price a bit. If it goes above it, no issues. But I expect most of these odds to be able to break above this current resistance. That was a support that they flipped. I'm expecting them to break above it. So let me just draw this briefly. Just briefly, just to draw this. So I'm expecting most of them, including CHR, to break above this. And once it does that, it can target this high here. So we just entered this trade today. I think there's one I didn't share in the group that I also took. Just to check, and that should be people and bio. People and bio. Let me check it briefly. Okay, here's people. Yeah, people. So I took this one this morning. People, yeah, people and bio. So I'm also expecting people to actually make this one up. This one might be up very tiny profits, but I'm expecting it to run up to this level. I'm most likely above it. You get most likely above it because I think I took a spot position too on people. So people is a meme coin that tends to run hard. Once meme coins start moving, it tends to perform quite well. So it's still facing the resistance too from Monday. The support that flipped to resistance. Let me switch to 4 hours and just, yeah. So you can see it at least Sunday. You can see where it lost that zone. So like I said, most of the altcoins, that is what they are facing basically. They are trying to break above that zone. Most of the altcoins. They are trying to, once they're able to clear that zone, you see most of them running. I think Ripple has cleared, not Ripple, Sui. I think Sui has cleared that zone. Now, there's something you want to avoid. You want to avoid taking too many trades because obviously there'll be lots of opportunities in the market right now. And some will break before others. Some might break and might see a correction, and some others might be forced down before they see that break. It's very, very possible. But you want to try as much as possible to see if you can narrow your focus down to like the winners. For Fatcoin has already moved. I'm not trading Fatcoin via features. It's just via spot. Let me check bio. So if you're interested in this people, this is also the trade. So you see this is like 1 to 4.3. Yet so I'll outline TP1, TP2, TP3 in our Telegram. Later today I'll outline that. So the other trade then bio. Let me see. Just bio before we switch to something else. Okay, good. So this is bio. So this is the bio trade. I think I was looking at this before we joined and I was trying to take an entry, but I don't think I've actually placed my trade yet. All right, so for this bio, okay, good. So I'm also expecting bio to do the same thing. So if you notice, see the same thing I said. Where did bio lose the support? It's still over the weekend. You get it broke below on Sunday. You get Sunday evening. It lost that level. And even tonight, it hasn't gotten back to that level. This was Monday morning, where it just crashed all the way down. So I'll be expecting at least bio to pump back to this level where it was as at Friday last week, Friday, Saturday, before it lost it. So that's basically what I'll be expecting. Now, this, even if this happens, that doesn't mean most of the odds are now bullish. Funny enough, even if most of all these stuffs happen, it doesn't mean most of the altcoins are now bullish. Because if you look at the structure of most altcoins, it's still bearish. Bio can get to this level and still short all the way down. It's possible. Yes, it's very, very possible. But my point is you want to be able to capitalize on this move. You want to be able to. All we need now from BTC is to allow altcoins to reprice before it does like another correction. That's just what we need. Let altcoins to reprice before it does another correction. And the best outcome that would give us that is if BTC holds this level. If it holds this level, that's the best outcome that will give us what we want. BTC holds this level. or BTC goes above this level and holds. If BTC runs aggressively to 100K and starts correcting back to 94, 95, that might mess some altcoins up. Not all, some. Because there are some that immediately BTC breaks out and start running, they will tail the price of BTC and they will also run fast. The same way Ethereum ran fast. This was Ethereum trade I took yesterday, by the way. So Ethereum trade I took yesterday. Sorry. This is an Ethereum trade I took. I think it was on Tuesday morning or Monday night, something like that. So Ethereum trade I took, and it hit my TP before I could adjust any other thing. And if you notice too, Ethereum has repriced back to its weekend price. Yet it's also facing that resistance. It's facing that same resistance too from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday before it dumped. Yeah, it's back to that zone facing that resistance. It's when it goes above this zone that you can now start expecting Ethereum to like bump back to 2.3, 2.5 or thereabouts. So even looking at Ethereum structure too, it's still bearish, yet it's not yet bullish. It's still bearish on the larger time frame. It doesn't flip to being bullish. So by the larger time frame, I don't mean on a monthly chart. No, that's not necessarily what I mean. So let's take some questions and let's take some questions. Let's take some questions. Emiraku, I don't know if you have something you want to say before I switch to questions and we look at some other coins that we are buying, maybe some other altcoins from CoinGecko. Someone is asking.
Okay. So we have a few news that just came in for those that are staking their Chromia. Chromia's APR has actually dropped for if you're staking on Binance Smart Chain or on Ethereum. So you might want to go on stake and then stake with native CHR. Then another news is Color Pool has added eval to the Color Pool DEX. So meaning they now have a native Color Pool token, which is actually fantastic. So because we talked about
a native eval token.
Yes. So we've talked about that Color is not Color. The DEX is just there, right? But now they are adding more tokens. That means the project is not dead, right? So they know what they are doing. They are trying to bring much more economic activity on chain, on the Chromia chain, which is also a good development. So if you have your eyes on the Color token, you can go check it out. The eval is trading on chain for Chromia. And Chromia is reducing their staking rewards for any other stake that is outside their ecosystem. So maybe next year, we might see much more on-chain activity, real on-chain activity that comprises trading, not only gaming, on the Chromia chain. Maybe we might even see good price action. Now, don't forget that there was an announcement before that what's it called? Binance had integrated the Chromia blockchain, the native CHR, but they had issues, right? So I wouldn't be surprised by sometime maybe later this year or by next year that news also goes out again that okay, they've finally integrated it and it's working. And when that happens, we should expect that top Chromia projects which already are on Binance would also now switch to native. You can withdraw them on Chromia, and probably new projects, maybe which, if you ask me, I would say Color is like the premier in terms of Chromia's tokens that are not on a big exchange. So if we have a listing of Color on, say, Binance or a big exchange, it will really pop the price of Color. Because I've actually talked about this before. If you look at projects that Chromia has come out to say, oh, we are behind, we are working, with, color is the least of them. And I'm not saying least in terms of technology or product. I'm saying least in terms of price, in terms of market cap. Because if you check Mines of Dalania, which has migrated and become D, if you check their market cap, if you check the market cap of my neighbor Alice, if you even check the market cap of Chain of Alliance, right, and check the market cap of Eval, right? Eval is the second to the last. I think now maybe Eval and Chain of Alliance might be almost at the same FDV. But color is the least. Color is about 172K to 200K FDV, which is crazy, right? So there's a lot of room for like a good amount of pump. So yeah, that's just the information from on the side of Chronia.
All right. So I hope everyone can see my screen. Hope everyone can see my screen. So briefly before I stop, can you see my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay. So Trado is actually at a good price for buy because it dumped, I think Monday evening or so from $6 to about $8. So it's actually at a good price. Another token that's actually at OR. I don't know if most persons were able to buy OR. And we spoke about OR. I think it was on Clubhouse. I think OR was at $80-something, on Clubhouse. I was unable to scoop. I didn't buy it. That's one thing. You can't buy everything. So I was unable to buy it. So I missed out on that. Sui is actually good. Now, there's a project on the Sui ecosystem that is actually really good. I noticed it has actually moved. We spoke about it one of these live streams we did. Warus, I think it was a Monday live stream where I spoke about it briefly. Warus does something similar to AR. It's actually a good project. So, and since it's on Sui, it actually gets lots of hype and traction and all of those things, basically. So Warus is actually good. And Virtual, Aura, I think Aura by Virtual. Yeah, this is still at 1.1, so it's good. Yesterday it was at 900K. It was at yesterday. Eval yesterday was at 700 or thereabout, 700K, which I told you guys that I got more. Eval, either Monday or Tuesday, it was at 700K. I told you guys that I got more, and today it's at 1 point something. So these are some projects that we actually tend to use for like spot swings because you can't trade them on futures. So for Eval, I still expect it to go higher, by the way. For Sora, you guys know that we swing Sora a lot. Like Sora is really, really good for swings. So it's going back to around 3M again. You might want to pay attention. Now, even when you're swinging a project, you don't want to get stuck. What I mean by stuck is that is good for swing does not mean you endlessly be swinging it. While swinging it, you're also watching activities happening on their X page, information's dropping, and all of those things. And truthfully, if you've been swinging it for a while, by now, your capital should be out, good profit should be out, and whatever you're using to swing it should just be part of the profits that you've made over the weeks that you've actually been swinging this for over a month now. It should just be profit. So whatever happens, let's say one day the project works, you're not supposed to lose. It's just supposed to be something that, oh, finally this party has crashed because it's no longer available for swing. But yeah, as I said, despite the fact that you're swinging a project, you want to still watch what they are posting on their X page. You want to make sure that they are still communicating, they're still putting out credible information, they're still building. Like you really, really want to make sure you're checking that. Also, if you have a moon bag, like me that has a moon bag, you also want to check, are they still building? Is it looking like they want to abandon the project? Was it based on hype? You want to check all of those things so you know when you would abandon the moon bag. Because for all we know, it hasn't gotten mainstream adoption yet. Yes, the team is working very hard. Yes, they are consistently pushing out stuff. Yes, they have like good prospects and the opportunity is there, and so far so good. We haven't seen anything bad that they have done. Yes, yes, yes. But you still want to ensure you're still keeping a close watch on the project. Unless you're good with them, just leaving that moon bag, even if it goes down, you have no issues. Unless that, yeah, but it's very, very important you pay attention to most of those things. So let's go to the questions before we call it a day. We've spent 30 something minutes already. What are the coins? First question, what are the coins one can buy on spot trade that has potential of doing well? We'll drop them on Telegram. We'll drop those ones on TG. We've called some here too, but we'll drop them on Telegram. Is Trader a good? Yes, yes. Trader is, personally, I bought it. It's a good buy. I see it's there's a chance that I can do like 100% of the chance. And so far, so good. It's been doing well for swings and all of those things. Can I still enter Gigo if it traces back to 95? So for this, let me just look at the charts briefly. Then this will be the last question we take before we call it a day. So let me just look at the Gigo charts briefly. Yeah, please hope you can see my screen. For those watching, feel free to like, share, subscribe, invite anyone. Although it's late now to invite anyone because we're rounding up. But we do this every morning, 10 a.m. sharp. So you can invite anyone you want to. All right. So was it still good to please Space Now, is my screen visible? Those watching, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
So she said if Gigo retraces back to 105. First of all, what are the odds of Gigo retracing back to 105?
95 actually.
Oh, 95, yes. Oh yeah, it can actually retrace back to 97. But if it retraces back to 105, yes, you can get him. But there's a chance of it retracing back to 97 to just fill this fair value gap. There's a chance of it coming back down to get some momentum, take out some liquidity here, then before it goes back up. So if you see it get back to 95, you're not supposed to go in aggressively. If you intend, let's say you want to gain $500, you can split it into 3. You get in with 100 in case it comes back down to like this level. You get, so you don't want to jump in with everything once you see it around 96, 95. You don't want to do that. You want to actually wait, and you also want to be certain that the trend is still active, because there can be other factors that might make it come down. It can be that the trend is about to shift, or is dumping, or there's a negative. So you want to still make sure that it's not based on it's about to crash, based on some negative sentiment in the market. Because if you look at Gigo, I checked Gigo early this morning, something like that. I checked their Twitter page early this morning just to see if there are negative sentiments, and also because Binance was supposed to burn some Gigo tokens, do buyback and burn those kind of stuff. And I noticed that they did that, I think, yesterday or thereabouts. So the news was actually there that they've actually burnt. They generated over 6,000 Gigo tokens. They sent some to Gigo Fund, and they burnt some, which if you do a calculation of the percentage they burnt, this is 0.1 or 0. Something. But if they consistently generate that quantity, I've not really done the calculation very well though, but there's a rough estimate of how much Gigo they might be able to burn at the end of the year. But the point here is Binance have started burning Gigo tokens. That's just a summary of what I'm about to say. Binance have actually started burning Gigo tokens. Basically, the community is calling for more utility, no doubt. But yeah, just like Binance said, they've started burning. So people are just saying the supply hasn't started reducing. It hasn't reflected yet. For whatever reason, I do not know. But in terms of fundamental, the sentiment looks good. If it dumps down to this price in the next few hours, it's obviously going to still continue its upward movement, unless something totally different happens from BTC, which right now we don't see anything like that happening. So the answer to your question is yes. Just share DCA if you're getting in at that level. Ensure you do it via DCA. All right, so I think that's all we'll be taking today. Thanks to everyone that joined. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, depending on where you're watching from, X or YouTube, wherever. Share, and we do this every morning, 10 a.m. till whenever we stop, maybe 10:30 or 10:20 or maybe 11. Yeah, so I think that's all from me. Especially, I don't know if you have anything to say.
For now, that's all from me. Let's see how the rest of the day develops.
Yeah, and keep a close eye on the trades we dropped. We might also drop. What we might, we'll most likely share updates about those trades that we shared, the live trades we shared. We dropped some live trades. If you haven't joined our community yet, we dropped those live trades there. Also, the ones that we're currently on live, we actually dropped them there. You want to actually join. Let me show you. You want to actually join. Very, very important. Ask the questions so that you can track most of these trades there real time. You want to actually join, so you can actually ask those questions and track most of the stuff. So I don't know if this is going to open though, because I don't have TG here. But yeah, if you go to this community, you would see most of the trades we are actually taking. Like we share them there real time. So once again, thanks guys for actually joining, and see you guys same time tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Bring your questions, bring the charts you want us to look at, and we'll be expecting most of our trades to be in good profits by tomorrow morning. Thanks guys, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye guys. Bye.